Well, hello peeps! Here I have for you a solo shuffle on the PTR for the War Within, and we are playing some Deathknight with the hero spec San Layn, which I like to call San Layn, so don't be bothered by that in the video, I hope. And today we're gonna talk about why I think San Layn is the hero spec is just gonna be very strong in the War Within. First of all, a little disclaimer, the game is a little bit goofy and I'm playing a little bit goofy. I have no add-ons, I'm playing with 180 ping and no macros either, so the gameplay, how would you say, I have a few gameplay debuffs applied to me here definitely, so you're gonna notice that a few times. So let's start off with the build that I'm running. I'm gonna have that pop up on the screen. Literally just the last thing I was testing before I got a soul shuffle pop. If you watch my PvP overview for the Unholy Deathknight, then there is a little bit of a differences than what I was doing with San Layn there. Here the idea is to basically just take every talent that has to do anything with the DK's direct power, avoiding all pet talents while also avoiding super strain, since it doesn't work with Infliction of Sorrow, which is one of San Layn's biggest damaging components. Now one change that has happened with some nerfs to the Vampiric Strike, not just really to the nerfs to the San Layn kind of tree, but Vampiric Strike has gotten kind of changed. It used to kind of not really benefit, but really depend on do you have Scourge Strike or Clawing Shadows. Now the only thing that really matters is the range. So when you do, if you have like Clawing Shadows, you're just gonna get more range on it. You're not gonna really do more damage like it was before, which also kind of then makes Plaguebringer the de facto choice in my opinion. It just makes it so like there's not really a reason you would really want to use Clawing Shadows with San Layn. It's just gonna make you do less burst, less overall damage. Maybe you're gonna have a little bit better time like outside of your cooldowns, but it's just, yeah, makes it like no reason I think to use Clawing Shadows. So why is San Layn going to be so strong in PvP going into the War Within? And there's basically two reasons that kind of tie into each other. First is an insane burst window with the Dark Transformation now on a 45-second cooldown that is just very much capable of killing people in that kind of cooldown without like really you needing to stack up really stuff with it. I mean, I guess you have Apocalypse like on the same kind of cooldown, but in any case, right, you just have a really strong cooldown that is gonna do big damage. I'm thinking right now it still can get like maybe some classes can kind of trick it by dispelling the stacking, right, of Virulent Plague, but in any case you're gonna be doing a very strong amount of damage when you are popping Dark Transformation, and definitely something that's always gonna pop cooldowns, right? And for a 45-second window, right, that is a very strong. The second part is that the same burst cooldown is also a very strong defensive cooldown that will heal you upwards of like 50% of your HP when you're bursting. You can even heal more than 50%, but I'm just like, let's say, averaging it to like 50%. You're casting out 10 Vampiric Strikes. Sure, dampening is gonna affect it. It is gonna gonna heal you like 30%, 25% in the later levels of the soul shuffle games and stuff. But in any case, it's still something that you do while you are bursting, and something that doesn't take you, right? You don't have to waste globals or do anything really to do it, right? You're just passively healing yourself for 50% plus of your HP every time you're doing your burst. So I think that is just absolutely something that is insane and kind of even maybe broken design-wise, because my fear is definitely that this is something that can get nerfed, and when it's nerfed it's not gonna be like nearly right good or even effective. But yeah, that's why I say it's kind of maybe broken, right? It's just maybe one of those things that can't really be tuned properly because just so much like it is. Yeah, I don't think any other burst window heals its the damager of 50% of their HP, right? In a like 15-second window, right? It's just kind of huge. I checked like the breakdown in the after the soul shuffle, and it was like healing me like 400 k like at the most. So like the beginning ones, at the beginning of the round were like healing me 400k, like that is insane, something that you're like spamming constantly. So like, on top of all of that, San Layn is also the one that's shared with the tank spec, shared with blood, which is just makes it even like additionally tankier. Ooh, that was a nasty hit. It was like 1.5 million or something Infliction of Sorrow there, boom. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, like you just do very good damage. Also, yeah, the burst window is like very good in how it's how would I say, how the damage is spread out, right? So you do very good damage while you're kind of building it up, and then it just has like an additional explosion. I feel like that's gonna be very hard for healers to kind of predict. Okay, like, you know, this target is half HP, but like I'm half him, I have him, and then like the pop happens, right? If the healer doesn't have like a weak aura screaming in their ear to, you know, dispel or whatever. Yeah, you can see now here some dispels happening from the paladin. But yeah, in any case, it's definitely a little bit. I'm a little bit now. Let's kind of compare Rider of the Apocalypse. How I feel about it now. Definitely feel a little bit sassy about Rider now, since the benefit of Rider really is that it's gonna have a little bit more AoE, and it's gonna have mobility. But do you really care for mobility as a Death Knight? You already kind of rely more on your targets coming to you. You know, you're not really coming to you, you're bringing the targets to you, right? You're not really relying on chasing down your opponents. And it's like, generally speaking, the kind of big thing of Death Knight. So I don't know if like the steed can really compensate for just how much tanky you're gonna be with San Layn. Like I feel like there's gonna be a noticeable difference, because there's just so many talents that just directly impact your survivability, on top of the fact that the burst cooldown, the burst window is also the defensive window, right? It's just healing you for basically as much damage as you're also dealing at a time. And those would be my thoughts on the situation right now. At this point we can kind of just focus on the gameplay. I also need to inform you that only 4.3% of you are subscribed, so if you've been enjoying the content, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell, that will be very good for you. For me as well. So yeah, just training the Warlock unfortunately here. It's looking at this feels so bad, man. Like I have no items, I can't even see the HP of my team properly, because I couldn't activate the raid frames. I was like, the UI has also kind of been changed up a little bit. You can kind of like leave the match directly from like that little pull up on the left as well, so it's just kind of weird. Maybe that's just something for beta testing. Maybe, perhaps. Here we're gonna just go on the Warlock again. I mean, unfortunately, just how it is, melee versus range versus double melee, right? Melee lobby for the Warlock, you're gonna get trained, dude. It's also just done, how would you say, even if we want to kill the monk, let's say, right, or kill the paladin, the better choice is always gonna be to sit on the Warlock, so we can, you know, pull targets onto the Warlock. Just doing my nasty burst here, you can see, stacking up that damage. Let's see the payoff, boom. Now the payoff we didn't see, because it actually happened to the poor paladin. We didn't see it properly, right? But yeah, just Infliction of Sorrow just has this like very strong pressure by its own, right? Even if you didn't have like the explosion part, but then the explosion part is also just way too strong. Yeah, I think there's definitely something that will be, I think, a little bit addressed by Blizzard. At least the explosion part, like I wish for them to not maybe touch the damage it deals when you're just doing vampiric strikes. I feel like that damage is fine. It's not like problematic at all. The problem really is when you just get hit with 2 million. But maybe it's good, like balancing wise. Some other classes probably maybe can do like that as well. Maybe, I just need to do some more testing really to see, to say. Just again the same story, bro. Every time we're versus the Warlock, it's just gonna get trained, sit on him. Fortunately, I'm not doing like any focus kick or anything like that, because I don't have any focus macros on. I should be trying to kind of CC the healer a little bit more additionally, but yeah, here my healer is getting like kind of like beaten up, but I don't know why the paladin is like sitting here. Could be moving a little bit away. Maybe the monk is as well getting knocked. That's what I was saying, like I was not able to see my HP. I can barely see it now, right? I was not able to see it definitely while I was playing, right? To see that my team was absolutely getting slaughtered. Here, even though I'm just like 1v1 like the Warlock and the Priest, it doesn't matter, where you take 0 damage when you're doing your burst, like literally 0 damage. Like he even has an observer up. I'm just ignoring the observer. You see it zapping me. I'm just ignoring it. Right, I'm just ignoring it. Like who cares, bro? I'm bursting with my gift of San Layn, bro, and I'm just doing the juiciest amounts of damage. Unfortunately, the paladin dies there, and that's gonna also, I think, tilt the monk actually, and the monk leaves. So peeps, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things YouTubers want you to do, and have a nice day.